So, a real awakening moment is when you understand the power of energy and understand physics and energy and the first law of thermodynamics. The first law of thermodynamics is that energy can never be created or destroyed. It can only be converted or hijacked. Okay? And so the second law of thermodynamics is when energy is wasted, when you impose energy upon something that does not utilize it correctly. And so the thing about the jelly juice is it converts energy. It takes the negative energy within you that is a deadly energy and it converts it into a positive energy, a life energy. And so that's why you must know the power of energy and what are the laws of life and what are the laws of death and converting that energy. What I'm finding and what you guys are all finding is that no matter what you do as far as protesting, raising awareness, trying to ram your thought process down someone's throat, is that every single energy you give to somebody's belief system, whether it's trying to convince them otherwise or whether it's agreeing with them, you are still supporting the main objective of that specific subject matter. And so how do you fight against something you don't agree with? And that is taking the energy and converting it. But what we're finding, what you're seeing is people that see like children being victimized or the medical holistic industry victimizing them and then they're out for blood, you're still contributing to the same death energy. And so it's almost seems like it's anti, I don't know, I don't say anti, it seems counterintuitive to say nothing. It seems counterintuitive to not respond to all the different negative, deathly energies out there. Well, there is a way to promote and convert the negative energy, the death energy, but it has to come from a biochemical level. And so this is why I've been pounding the jelly juice within people's body, minds, and spirits because it is an energy conversion that you won't experience and know until you actually do it. So this is why in my group, I don't really allow anyone to guide the political thought process. I have to guide it because I have to come from a specific place. Because what we're finding is that people are responding to energies like David Icke and all the different gurus like 4chan, 8chan, Q, Trump, Biden, whatever, and they're thinking that is a pure energy when in actuality they are part of the death energies because of their biochemistry, where they're coming from. So even though they might speak a great language, they might speak a great concept of peace and unification, their body, mind, and spirit actually says otherwise. Well, what does that mean, body, mind, and spirit says otherwise? They're aging and degrading. How can you promote unification and life and the life spirit if your body is degrading? If you're getting older, if you are believing that people should die, you're promoting hydroxychloroquine, you're promoting cannabis, you're promoting the vaccines. Um, and so this is why it's so important to understand how biochemistry impacts your motor neurons. You have you have 100 billion motor neurons that create your reality. And those 100 billion motor neurons are impacted by your microbiome. The biochemistry is impacted by your internal microbiome and your external microbiome. And so this is how you can brainwash the society is first you get them at the biochemical level, weak and easy to mold, and then you mess with the biochemistry, and then you start flashing them with not only images, okay, but also rhetoric. And then, of course, the underlying foundation of it all is people should die. And so that's how you're able to have so many different shades of gray in the different, activist groups, the different, perspectives on Q and Trump and Biden and Harris and Antifa and BLM. And so that all has to do with how the antibodies and the different chemistry, impact biochemistry and then reinforced by education, by rhetoric, by the internet, websites, by the medical holistic industry, like I said, education, and then by the different gurus that are out there that are propagating a specific belief system. So that is really, when you think about it, that's pretty much what's going on, is that energy is always being converted. So when you're going out there protesting, and you're protesting against the totalitarian regime of the New World Order, you're giving them energy to use to then spin to their specific agenda. And so you're like, well, shit, if I don't protest and fight for what I believe in out there, then they're going to come in. Well, they're already coming in anyways. They came in through the back door. Do you realize the New World Order came in through your biochemistry years and years and years ago when they figured out the proteins that can destroy a body, which is antibodies? You realize the New World Order already infiltrated your body, mind, and spirit like generations ago, before you were even born. Okay? So that's why it's such, that's why the powers that be are like welcoming the destruction of your community. They are not stopping the riots or the looting or what is it, the First Amendment, right? Which is interesting, how the amendments of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights and all that stuff, how the Bill of Rights has catered and fed into the manipulation of your energies. Oh yeah, the right for a free press, right? The right to write out and expose the government, right? The right for free speech. You go out there and you protest, which basically is giving energy to something that you're against, that will then allow someone who is the architect of what you're against spin it to make it seem like they're going to help you out, when it really is still feeding into the same agenda. So it's such strategy. When you understand how energy is being used in chemistry and biochemistry and the microbiome, and I'm just like, so when you're giving energy to something, regardless of which side of the aisle you stand on, you're giving it life. And so the only thing that I could say that's going to overcome the nefarious intentions of the New World Order is to actually change your biochemistry, where you stop giving life to pedophilia, you stop giving life to those that mean harm upon your body, mind, and spirit, as well as your children. But remember, we have so many people in our society that are so far gone, they're so asleep, and they are willing to give their kids to the system. They are willing to sacrifice not only themselves, but their children for, these specific entities that are feeding upon the energy of you as well as your child. Okay? And, it's a trip. And so, now I'm starting to write my book with more mental clarity on how everything is connected, because everything is connected. Nothing is compartmentalized. They try to and pretend that everything is compartmentalized so you don't see the connection. But when you realize that your microbiome, your biochemistry, the elements are all interconnected, and then energy is derived from how the elements and your microbiome interact with each other, then that's how you know where belief systems and actions stem from, where they originate from. And it's really from the influences on your biochemistry. And then your reality is based upon your brain motor neurons. And then your mind is in the manifestation of the brain motor neurons that are being impacted through your environment, through medicine, through holistic remedies, through what you read, what you see, what you promote, whatever it is that you give your attention, your energy to. It reinforces the overall agenda, which, yes, is the depopulation agenda, but also the totalitarian regime that is really serves to control not only your body, mind, and spirit, but the whole world that you live in. And will we ever come a time where vaccines are not needed, where holistic and allopathic remedies are not needed, where masks aren't needed? Potentially, 6,500,000,000 people later. So we have a long way to go. You must learn how to adapt and convert the energy that you want to see as far as life energy within your personal biochemistry. The answer is not out there on the streets. The answer is not fighting anyone out there, because that's how you give your energy to something that you're against. You have to change your biochemistry and inform people that the battle is not out there. It's within here. Because remember, your brain, your motor neurons create your reality. When you have 100 billion motor neurons in your brain, that's a huge reality. That's the binary code. That's the matrix. And so you can create a matrix to be pro-life and indefinite life, or you can create a matrix that death is inevitable, so it won't matter what you do. You could be a patriot, you could be a Q drop, you could be a BLM Antifa, you could be a Jehovah's Witness, a Jewish person, whatever. It won't matter what it is you subscribe to because the end result will always be the same. So remember, the first law of thermodynamics is energy can never be created or destroyed, only converted. So now you have to convert it to life, not death. But that's understanding chemistry and biochemistry and the elements and how everything is connected. Good luck to all of you. This is a pretty complicated concept for most people. If you get it, I give you a lot of props. Bye.